His Grace Sundar Gopal Prabhu Ji ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, today we are very, very fortunate that amongst us we have one of the most glorious disciples of His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada, His Holiness Kavi Chandra Swami Maharaj ki jai. So Maharaj came to Krishna consciousness in the year 1967. In the year 1971, Maharaj Shri also got initiated by our beloved founder Acharya, His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. And in 1987, Maharaj took the responsibility of being GBC of Japan. Japan is a very diverse place, and to preach in such a place where many people are even atheist or having diverse kind of culture, to preach there and revive preaching in Japan, that was done by Maharaj in Japan. So Japana, that is Japan. But here there are so many devotees that are chanting Hare Krishna because of the preaching done by His Holiness Kavi Chandra Swami Maharaj ki jai. So Maharaj is widely traveling, doing Nam Sankirtan, book distribution especially is specialization of Maharaj. And Maharaj is in demand all across the globe. But today we are so very fortunate that in ISKCON Dwarka we are having divine association of His Holiness Kavi Chandra Swami Maharaj ki jai. So let's welcome Maharaj by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And along with Maharaj, under the guidance of Maharaj Shri, there is one more upcoming sannyasi. His name is His Grace Sundar Gopal Prabhu Ji. One of the most legendary youth preacher, I would say, all across the globe. He has revolutionized youth preaching, and we are so very proud that he is from ISKCON Delhi. So Prabhuji has applied for sannyas ashram as well. So in future we will get to see that he will come with sannyas danda. Yes. So we are so very fortunate to have His Grace Sundar Gopal Prabhuji amongst us. So we welcome His Grace Sundar Gopal Prabhuji as well by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. His Grace Sundar Gopal Prabhuji ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jaya Radha Madhava. This is the most flowers so far. I feel really bad getting these flowers. In Japan, we have Radha Govinda deities, but in 1 week they don't get this many flowers. Sometimes they don't get any. And I feel, like it's my responsibility. So I don't know what to do. I refuse, but I can't just send them back. Can't send them to Japan. They wouldn't allow them in. They'd say something. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Balava Girivaradhari. Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yashoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachaya. Yamuna Tira Vanachaya. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopijana Ballava Girivaradhari Gopijana Ballava Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Jamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjabihar Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjabihar Gopijana Ballava Girivaradhari Gopijana Ballava Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjabihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjabihari Gopijana Ballava Girivaradhari Gopijana Ballava Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Nama Krishna Yadavaya Nama Gopal Govinda Ram Shimadhusudan. Hare Nama Krishna Yadavaya Nama Gopal Govinda Ram Shimadhusudan. Hare Nama Krishna Yadavaya Nama Gopal Govinda Ram Shimadhusudan. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada. Prabhupada. Jai. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Can I find now know the verse? What verse? Huh? What sloka are we on? Huh? Huh?
So you talk about the birth pastime of Lord Krishna, appearance pastime of Lord Krishna.
Oh, really? Okay.
Childhood pastime.
Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim sarasatim vyasam tato jayamudiraye nasta prayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavat yuttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naistiki. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is our means of conquest, we offer our obeisances to Narayan, the personality of Godhead, to Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, to Srila Vasudev, the author, and Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, by regular attendance in classes of Srimad Bhagavatam, and rendering service to the pure devotee. All that is inauspicious in the heart becomes destroyed almost to nil and becomes into being as devotional service to the Supreme Lord, comes into being as an irrevocable fact. Okay, Janmashtami ki jai. I've been trying to read this. There's a poem by Rupa Goswami. It's called Ashtadasha Chanda, something like that. So he's just remembering Krishna's childhood pastimes. It's very long. So I guess this is where I left off. Some of the slokas are like really long. It's called one sloka, but it's what in the Bhagavatam would be like 10 slokas. So is this, I can just speak English? Okay. Dwarka Dham ki jai. Telling somebody I was going to Dwarka, they got bewildered because they didn't know there's Dwarka in Delhi. Dwarka is Gujarat. Anyway, he's saying, O Lord, accompanied by Balaram, who pleases his friends and relatives with his graceful dancing. Lord, surrounded by the gopis, who were blossoming flowers, who wore blossoming flowers in their ears. O lover of the gopis, O Lord, who meets them in the deep of the forest. O Lord, who respectfully glorify the forest of Vrindavan. Lord, who sees the smiling faces of the gopis. Lord, who, on the pretext of glorifying the trees, gave them a great blessing. O Lord, when you were hungry, friends lovingly approached you, and you sent them. No, when your friends were hungry, they approached you, and you sent them to the nearby arena of Vedic sacrifice. O Lord, who were seen by the garland of Brahmana's wives, who, knowing that the Brahmana that disrespectfully neglected the gopis and themselves, filled with love for Lord Krishna and his friends, ignored the rules of sacrificial ritual and filled many containers with punika cakes and palatable cooked rice anointed with transcendental love, and filled many, many jeweled vessels with milk and many other containers with wheat cakes and at once went to the edge of the forest, where they respectfully approached you and spoke to you with great happiness. That's the wives of the Brahmanas, very famous Leela. The boys were hungry and they went to the Brahmanas. Krishna told them, and they refused. They were too busy with their yajna. So the boys were discouraged. They came back. Krishna explained to them that this is a way of begging. You don't always get anything. He said, now go to the wives. So the wives, because it's a village at that place. If you go on the Braj Mandal Parikram, it's the first stop between Vrindavan and Mathura. So, but the gopis from Vrindavan, they would come there selling their goods, and they were always talking about Krishna. So these women, and they knew about Krishna. They had been hearing his pastimes all the time. The men, they weren't so fortunate. But it's an example of the power We're busy doing the yagyas and everything. So they brought everything to Krishna and served him and all his friends. Then Krishna told them, now go home. They said, we can't go home because our husbands are going to be mad at us, because we gave all the food for the yajna, we gave it to Krishna before they could offer in the yajna, because they understood that that's the real yajna. Purusha is Krishna. Krishna said, don't worry, they won't be mad. So they went home, and the husbands had become self-realized that they made a big mistake, and they were condemning themselves and condemning their rituals and their yajnas and all this. So we can learn from that. O Lord, dressed in splendid garments, whose effulgence was golds. O Lord, who placed your hand, which protects the three worlds, on the shoulder of a friend. Lord, splendidly decorated like a dancer. Lord, decorated with jingling bells. Lord, whose bodily luster eclipses the blue lotus flower. O Lord, who have a handsome broad chest. O Lord, who wears moving flower blossom earrings. O Lord, who were glorified by the Brahmanas' wives, who said, O very handsome Krishna, because you are very merciful, we have very quickly come here with a great longing to see you. We have come from far away. Please protect us. O Lord, who carefully considered their appeal. Lord, who fulfilled all their desires. O Lord, decorated with the marks of all transcendental glory. O Lord, who sent their Brahmins' wives back to their homes. O splendid Lord, more delicate and soft than a newly blossomed flower. O Lord, whose transcendental opulences delight the senses. O Lord, who ate and gave others to eat. O Lord, who enjoy pastimes like a maddened elephant. O Lord, who are the jewel mine of virtues and delight of your servants. Lord, who eternally enjoy transcendental pastimes in Gokula. O Govinda, O Krishna, please rescue me, who am very proud and always overwhelmed by a chain of calamities. This is Rupa Goswami speaking. That's one verse. Some of them are ordinary verses, but there's quite a few stretches like that. He's just totally absorbed in remembering Krishna's pastimes, childhood pastimes. Not just, he's Rasacharya, but he's not only remembering the Rasa Leela, because there's many rasas. There's also friendship rasa and parental rasa, and those are all rasas. And the feelings are very, very intense sometimes. So the birth of Krishna, first place, it's not a birth. He appeared, but he made it seem like a birth. Nobody saw it. Somehow we have the history, but there were no witnesses. Devaki definitely appeared to be pregnant, but even Kamsa thought something special was going on because she was glowing so much. And even demigods were coming because they knew Krishna was there, and they were making beautiful prayers. But when he appeared, it wasn't a baby, it was Narayan. And all the pictures, they show big size, not a baby Narayan. There's no evidence of a baby Narayan. It's an eternal form of the Lord. So then Devaki and Vasudeva got bewildered and forgot that he's their child, and they started making all kinds of prayers in awe and reverence, glorifying the supreme, all-powerful creator of everything. Then they again became parental, and Devaki begged him to hide that form. Somehow she thought Kamsa could kill him. She was so afraid. The baby, she thought she could hide. But then Krishna, as a baby, brand new baby, he spoke and he told Vasudeva, take me to Gokula and change that Yasoda just had a baby also. And by Krishna's Yogamaya, everyone in Mathura was asleep, and everyone in Vrindavan was asleep also. So Vasudeva, and there was a big storm so that nobody was out or anything. And he crossed the Jamuna. Jamuna made a wave and knocked Krishna out of his hands because she wanted to hold him. He picked him up. Then he changed the babies, came back, and all the locks had opened in the prison house, and all the guards were sleeping. And then everything went back to normal, and the baby cried. Of course, it wasn't Krishna, it was Durga. And when Kamsa tried to kill her, she went in the sky and showed the 10-armed form, very, Durga, Mataji, they say in Bengal, and laughed at Kamsa, you stupid fool. The child who will kill you is already born somewhere else. So at that time, Kamsa didn't know where or who or what, but he sent Putana to kill all the children born in the... It's interesting too, in the Jesus' birth there was a similar... The King Herod, he sent people out to kill all the babies. They think that the Hindus copied the Christian story. This baby, but it's a Krishna story, and it's just everywhere. It's in many, many cultures with different names. Anyway, we know then, so Krishna was, then everybody woke up in Vrindavan and saw this incredibly beautiful child, and Nanda had his big festival, which is the day after, because the birth was at midnight. And Nandotsava. It's supposed to be the really big festival. And then demons started coming, and everybody knows Putana was the first one. As far as I know, she wasn't after Krishna particularly. She'd been going around killing so many babies. And then she came to Vrindavan, and somehow she went to Krishna's house. And she was so beautiful, and even though she's a Rakshashi, 12 miles high when she died, when she couldn't keep her disguise, they can just change forms, the mystic power. And all the women, they were so bewildered to see such a beautiful woman, and she wanted to breastfeed Krishna. They agreed. They didn't know who she was a stranger. They just thought it must be Lakshmi Devi or something. Anyway, we like to hear again and again and again. And so she started feeding Krishna. She'd put enough poison on her breast to kill 10 elephants or something. And Krishna, he was holding on and took out the poison, nullified. Krishna is good at getting rid of poison. He kicked Kali on the head. Kali had 1,000 heads, and 100 were especially poisonous. And he kept trying to bite Krishna, who just kept jumping from one to the next and stomping the heads with his soft lotus feet. But he knocked Kali almost dead. And the wives were thinking, okay, Krishna will kill him and then we don't have to serve him anymore. We can concentrate on our bhakti. But then they saw Kaliya's face, and Kaliya had somehow realized, the wives had always been telling him he should surrender to Krishna. We have many cases like that. In some countries anyway, where the wife becomes a devotee and tries and tries and the husband doesn't come along. Sometimes they do. So then they could see that he was surrendering. He got so exhausted he vomited up all the poison and he was almost dead. And then the wives saw that he was actually surrendering to Krishna. They knew him well enough. So they told Krishna, don't kill him. So Krishna didn't kill him. And then Kaliya surrendered. He made a very beautiful prayer. The essence, he said, it's very hard to change your nature. Only can be done by the mercy of Krishna. Not by charity, not by yajna, not by meditation, not by all the long list of things. You can't do by any of those things. Only by the mercy of Krishna. We can actually change. And we've seen that happening all over the world. All kinds of people. I just read one, it was from Vaisheshika Prabhu, one in the prison ministry, that ISKCON prison ministry, quite active in America. And he heard one prisoner, he was a neo-Nazi or something, and killing people, a really nasty guy. And so he got life without parole, 2 times I think, and no chance of getting out. And somehow, due to the ISKCON prison ministry, he got the Bhagavad Gita, started reading it, got really, really enlivened, started chanting, doing everything, and he wanted to get initiated. So somehow, I guess Vaisheshika actually went to that prison and initiated him. And he became completely happy. And all the other prisoners asking him, why are you so happy? He said, I read this book, that's why. This book is so good. So he's distributing Bhagavad Gita in the prison. And many, many cases like that. just from reading Krishna's pastimes, the Krishna book especially, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna book, somehow these souls are so covered over, but by the mercy of Prabhupada's intense desire, we're all changing. Many devotees, we all come from, not Brahminical backgrounds, especially me, but somehow or other the power is there. So anyway, Kaliya became a great devotee, and he told Krishna, next time you want to travel, call me, I can go faster than Garuda. And later Krishna had a rasa dance on the heads of Kaliya with all the gopis. Kaliya was serving him. So we can never know, but the wives of the brahmanas, they went back, and the husbands all became devotees also. So that's Krishna. The birth, Putana. So Krishna, then he sucked out the life air, and she started screaming because she could see she's being killed. And she was trying to push this baby away, and Krishna's just holding on, and she couldn't. So she couldn't maintain that disguise anymore. So she grew and she was running, and she grew to her size 12 miles, or 18 kilometers high. She was born in a village in Braj, with her family, Agasura and Bakasura, her brothers. We go to that place, that village. So they were apparently like ordinary people. Just like Krishna says, Krishna and Balaram appeared like ordinary human beings and so masked. It's verse 20 of the Bhagavatam. They perform many superhuman tasks. So this was, the first one was appearing as Narayan, and then guiding Vasudeva, telling him what to do, even though he's a newborn baby. Then Putana. So she was running, and Krishna is still holding on. And she's screaming, "Leave me, leave me, leave me." And then she finally died, and she fell in the Kamsa's orchard, some kind of fruit orchard he had, and smashed all the trees and destroyed Kamsa's special garden. And they couldn't run that fast, Someone 12 miles high can move a few steps to get to Mathura, So the gopis came running, and they saw Krishna playing up on top, very high up, on top of this dead body. I read one place, they said they had to get ladders and everything and climb up and get Krishna down. Mother Yasoda, everybody was panicked. But then they just prayed, they did the yagyas, and they bathed him with cow urine and cow dung, and just thanked Vishnu for saving him. Because they never thought that he's the Supreme Lord. They were always just thanking Narayan for saving their baby. But he is Narayan, so we can't really follow all these things. And then they burned the body of Putana, and it made it a very sublime incense smoke that even the demigods were smelling, just because she died, contacting Krishna. You saw the movie, right? Varaha. I didn't notice that in the movie, but it's described that same thing. Varaha died touching the feet of, Hiranyaksha died touching the feet of Varaha, So his body was effulgent and beautiful, in death. So in Putana also. Then on and on, like Krishna just, The main thing, though, is I like to think about killing demons, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he has that whole list of how, each demon is representing different qualities, like Putana's deceit, and, she disguised herself. I don't remember, all of them, but just by hearing about Krishna killing these demons, we can get purified of those qualities, of the pride and deceit and ignorance and all the different lust and anger. That they all had all those things, but some of them were noted, especially representing these particular qualities. It's interesting, he says, but for Balaram, you have to make an own effort also to get freed from the qualities. So Rupa Goswami, he just goes on and on with this, remembering Krishna. My Lord, without your mercy, even the demigod Brahma cannot become free from distress, taste the very sweet flood of transcendental bliss, or make progress on the path of liberation. O friend of the distressed, again and again I pray for a single drop of your mercy. This is something we have to keep in mind. Nowadays, a lot of devotees are reading a lot of different books, and they get the idea that it's by our own endeavor. If we meditate in a certain way and we read certain things, and step by step we can go to Goloka. But it's only by mercy. Guru, Krishna, Prasade Boy, both. Guru and Krishna. And unfortunately, Nityananda and Srila Prabhupada are inconceivably, unlimitedly merciful. So there's hope for everybody. All you have to do is hang in there. O Lord, who proudly opposed King Indra, O Lord, who cheerfully lifted the Govardhan hill, O Lord, whose face eclipses the sweetness of the moon, O Lord, decorated with splendid ornaments, O Lord, decorated with shark-shaped earrings, I worship you. That's another quite miraculous, lifting Govardhan hill on one finger. Our Srinathji Prabhu, who's left us now, he was in Bombay. When he met Prabhupada, he was a follower of one Mayavadi who was claiming to be God. And Prabhupada defeated everything he ever said. He refused to debate, personal meeting with Prabhupada. So Prabhupada told Srinathji, he said, Krishna lifted Govardhan hill on one hand. Ask him if he can lift that table. And then the guy said, and then that's when Srinathji surrendered. Took a while. He would keep going back and say what Prabhupada said, and then he'd get new Mayavadi argument. So here's another one. The Lord, who spoke with great logic to convince the people of Braja to stop the sacrifice for Indra. O Lord, who advocated a great festival to worship Govardhan hill, the cows and the brahmanas. O Lord, who argued that great prosperity would follow the worship of Govardhan hill. So that's another very famous, maybe one of the most famous pastimes of it. You see these Dandabat guys in Vrindavan with the 108 stones. I saw one guy with 1,008 or something. It took him all day to move. I think once in the morning and once in the... I said, "Why are you doing this?" He said, "God wants me to do it." And usually they have a picture of Giriraj, you know. I saw one guy, he had a picture of Jayapataka Maharaj. But he had 108 stones. O Lord, who arranged the preparation of many incomparable foods like saskuli, yogurt, and madaka candies. O Lord, who decorated all the cows with flowers, red powder, mineral pigments, and sandal paste, decorating all the cows. O Lord, who had the gopas, perform a ceremony to purify the caves and summits of Govardhan Hill. O Lord, who had your friends and relatives praise the tumultuous sound of the festival to worship Govardhan Hill. O Lord, who had the cowherd men respectfully worship and circumambulate the hill. O Lord, who assumed a gigantic form of Govardhan and ate everything. O Lord, whose auspicious transcendental form delighted all the cowherd people. O Lord, who became surrounded by the people of Gokula, now distressed by the torrential rain sent by angry Indra. O Lord, whose wonderful activities delighted your frightened friends. O Lord, who lifted the incomparable hill with your left lotus hand. O Lord, whose newly sprouted transcendental pastimes crushed the pride of Indra. O Lord, who made your distressed friends stay under the hill. O Lord, who plunged your friends in the ocean of astonishment. O Lord, whose friends become filled with bliss as they gazed at your splendid face. So Krishna, that's the Govardhan Hill. We get much more details than normally. It goes on and on, but something happens. But so anyway, the childhood pastimes are very sublime, but all the pastimes are sublime. We have to remember also that the older gopis are also gopis. And that's all Braj Leela, the motherly pastimes and the fatherly, and the cows, especially the cows. Krishna especially loved the cows. So it's very confusing now, and if we go to Braj, right? Because cows are not wanted. So it's almost 9 o'clock. It's a very long, it's an ecstatic reading, but if you want to hear more, I can tell what we read in the Krishna book, and it's always nectar, but our acharyas, they come up with a lot more details, which are basically there in the Bhagavatam also, but depending on someone's consciousness, it expands and much more is revealed. The more we read Nitya Yavana Yovanam Cha, Krishna's pastimes are ever fresh and new. And just like Bhagavad Gita, we can read it again and again and again and never get tired of it. Before we start, the mind will say, no, you read that already, you should go to Rasa Bihari Lal and find some other books, But then we read the Bhagavad Gita and oh, I never read this before, even though we might have read it so many times. So this is Krishna. So Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami wrote similar books, a little shorter, all about just remembering Krishna's childhood pastimes. Raghunath Das Goswami also. Not Gopi Lila much as everything, lifting Govardhan Hill. We sing that, Jai Radha Madhava, Gopi Jana Ballava, Giri Bharadari. The gopis were especially happy while Krishna was holding up Govardhan Hill. He was giving special pleasure to the gopis. Why was that? Anybody know? Huh? Yeah. Normally they have to sneak around in the night and get in trouble. But for 7 days and nights, they could just look at Krishna all they wanted and even talk amongst themselves. And somehow nothing, Krishna was benedicting everybody like that. So everybody from every age, and everybody was there, and Krishna was right there, and they could relish looking at him for 7 days and nights. And underneath the hill, like if you pick up a stone, it's a big mess underneath, right? And dirt is hanging on and bushes, but it was a heavenly planet. And all of Braj, not just Vrindavan town, or Govardhan town, everybody was under there. And of course it was much bigger then. Govardhan Hill, there's that story that is shrinking every day by the curse of that sage. But right after Krishna left the planet, or left Braj, Govardhan shrunk a lot. He's shrinking, he's not susceptible to the curse of any sadhu, any sage, but for separation from Krishna. The gopis were crying that they couldn't suicide by jumping off Govardhan Hill because it's not big enough. And they couldn't drown themselves in the Jamuna because she dried up, because Krishna left. And everybody dried up. So this is what, what we're seeking should be, is this separation. That's the mood of the gopis, the mood of our Goswamis, feeling intense separation from Krishna. So Krishna very kindly leaves. He left Vrindavan, he left Mathura, he left the world. Lord Chaitanya left Navadvip. He left his wife and his mother. And people think it's cruel, but it's actually benedicting them with these intense feelings of separation. So it's not an ordinary thing to feel that kind of separation from Krishna. Prabhupada, I told the other day, when he was staying at that John Lennon, the Beatles house, and Prabhupada somehow was recognizing that he was becoming a drug addict. So he asked Prabhupada, he was thinking, Prabhupada, you're telling your disciples something you're not telling me, because they're all so happy, but I don't feel so happy. So you have to tell me what the secret is that you're telling them. Prabhupada said, no, I'm telling everybody the same thing. Chant Hare Krishna, follow the principles. So he asked, how can we know who is an advanced devotee? And Prabhupada said, someone who's the most addicted to Krishna. And Shamsundar Prabhu, who was familiar with addiction, very familiar, and he said, he wondered why Prabhupada said that. But then he saw the guests who were coming were famous drug addicts. I know, I read their books, My mother gave me the book of one of them, William Burroughs, brilliant writers, but junkies. And so they would write about the pain and being separated from the drugs, So Prabhupada said, one who's the most addicted to Krishna, I see in the thing we saw at they have the, counseling and everything, addiction, recovery and stuff. So you have some idea what it's like to be an addict. They can't think of anything else except that whatever they're using for intoxication. So that's how we're supposed to be. That we can't think of, we just want Krishna, nothing else. So if we continue hearing and hearing and hearing, something will happen. Kuch kuch kote. Something will happen. You just put your hand in the bead bag, open the book, or your phone, or your computer, whatever, and hear the holy name, hear these pastimes, and read the Krishna. Prabhupada read the Krishna book himself over and over again. I saw him when the servant was reading, and Prabhupada was just really into it. He loved it. So, and he said, I want to see what Krishna has written. Okay, so thank you very much. Dwarka, I see you're going to have I was here last Kartik, I think. Was that, or maybe, no, even in spring. But there's so much progress in the building, from outside anyway, from those few months. It's Krishna's mercy. We can't build it like Krishna built Dwarka overnight or instantly. He just instantly built the whole city with many buildings this big, but pretty quick by Krishna's mercy. Prabhupada wants to give, everybody an opportunity to come and experience the kirtan, get books, get prasadam, and go back to Godhead. There's room for everybody. So Delhi is really getting blessed by the intense desire of Gopal Krishna Maharaj, he had vision. And for many years he really worked, getting nowhere. But it happens, and the same thing in our own personal life. At least myself, I experienced that, I'm not getting anywhere, not making any progress. Maybe I made some back in the early days, but now I'm just trying not to slide down, down the hill, like you see these things where the kids try to climb up some smooth thing, and they run and they get like almost to the top, and then their father says, try again, try. Finally, maybe they catch on to the top, and so we have to keep going. But it will happen. It's happening. The whole movement is a miracle. That so many temples all over the world, so many devotees in the jails, in Delhi jails also. Many. There's temples, groups of prisoners chant 64 rounds. They have nothing else to do, and they worship Tulsi. So This is the causeless mercy of Lord Nityananda, which is fully expanded by Srila Prabhupada. Amazing. So, ISKCON Dwarka ki jai, ISKCON Dwarkadish ki jai, ISKCON Dwarka Bhaktavrinda ki jai, and Krishna's childhood pastimes ki jai. Rupa Goswami ki jai.
Jai. His Holiness Kavi Chandra Swami Maharaj ji ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Let's pay our gratitude to Maharaj by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
I don't think I
Hare,
can get up.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. His Holiness Kavi Chandra Swami Maharaj ji ki jai. Thank you, Maharaj, for coming. Maharaj, please keep coming and keep blessing us, Maharaj. Thank you,
I have
thank you.
business here.
Krishna Prasadam ki jai.